Good morning, everyone. This is Adam Welch here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Thank you for taking some time to join us here this morning. Joining me today is Andy Backyard from North American, and we are going to be taking a look at some different solutions and concepts for business insurance purposes and where North American and their very competitive portfolio can fit in to the business insurance market and some of those more advanced concepts and applications for insurance. So we definitely thank Andy for taking some time to walk us through this great presentation here. So momentarily we'll be handing things over to Andy to take us through here. But before I do, I want to take care of a couple of housekeeping items and walk you through some information about some of our different rewards, incentives, and services we have available for you here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We have a lot of great stuff going on here and a lot of great stuff available for you to take advantage of. So before we dig in, a couple of housekeeping items. As we go throughout the presentation, we'll stop and check for some questions here periodically. So if you do have questions, please feel free to type those in your question box on your control panel and send those over. We will be checking and answering those perhaps once during the presentation, and then circle back around at the end of the presentation to answer any remaining questions. Also, there will be 2 polls here, as actually 3 total polls as we go through today's presentation. So if you would take some time just to click yes or no and respond to those polls, really helps us in delivering some information and gauging your interest. So we want to make sure everything is going to be productive for you. So if you would, please take the time to respond to those polls as they are launched. That would be greatly appreciated. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get things moving here. We are at 11 o'clock Central Time here. So I want to talk about, as I mentioned, some great things that we have going on here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services for you to take advantage of. Number of rewards and incentives and services out there. The first being our new producer bonus program. This is a great program here to reward those of you that are new producers, not necessarily new in the industry, but new to us here at IAMS, for writing your first pieces of business with us. So we have a few different levels to choose from, and based on your production on the life insurance or annuity side, you can qualify for any one of these great options here. As you do submit your first pieces of business, once you do claim your new producer bonus, you can't go and claim a higher amount once you hit that. So once you claim your bonus, that is that. But we do have 3 different levels for you to choose from. So starting left to right at the top there, the $100,000 level, have 3 options here: $750 cash bonus, a 2-year subscription to website and newsletter service, or the latest generation of the newest iPad out there. So easy way to get another $750 cash bonus on your first $100,000 in annuity, or maybe it's a $100,000 single premium life app. Great way to get a little extra cash in your pocket there. Some website, 2-year subscription to a website newsletter service. If you have a little bit more than $100,000, once you hit that $300,000 level, the rewards go up. So you have a few different options here. We have a full Social Security program and 3,000-piece postcard mailing to go along with that program. $2,000 in marketing reimbursement, matching marketing money to help you promote your business. That is definitely a great value, great way to cut down on some of your marketing expenses there and build your brand for cheap when you're working with us here at IAMS. Or you can choose a $1,500 gift card. At the $500,000 level, we do have some great incentives here as well. A little bit more towards building your business. We have a couple of seminar systems with 2 of our top producers. So you can see the first one is a 5,000-piece mailing and seminar coaching with Matt Gill, or 4,000-piece mailing and coaching with Dave Pemper. Both Matt and Dave are top producers, consistently top producers with us here at IAMS. They always qualify for all of our top producer trips and incentive trips. Do a lot of business and very successful at generating their new business with their seminar system. So they will go through their seminar system with you, coach you on delivering the seminar, and provide a 5,000 or 4,000 piece mailing to promote that seminar. Outside of that, if you want to take a vacation, you can use the Ritz-Carlton travel rewards and make your own personal getaway. So that's at the $500,000 level. That's our new producer bonus. So a number of great options there. That is us wanting to say thank you for submitting your first pieces of business with us here at IAMS. The next incentive I want to talk about is our 2018 Top Producer Escapes. So these are great trips rewarding our top producers here with IAMS, and really, as you can see with the qualification, very attainable if you're a regular in the business to qualify for this trip. So in 2018, you can see the dates there, February 25th to the 28th of 2018, we will be taking all qualifying top producers out to the Boulders Resort and Spa in Scottsdale, Arizona. This is a great location, fantastic golf and tennis and great spa, very scenic, so you can see in the background picture there. We are pretty excited about this. So it should be a great trip. You can see the qualification requirements for this trip down at the bottom of the screen. Virtually anything you write with us here at IAMS, we want to reward you for that production and give you credit towards qualifying for this top producer trip. So you can see $2 million in annuity premium, 1.5 in single premium life, 175,000 life target, and then Medicare supplement and long-term care premium. Virtually anything you write with us is going to get you credit towards qualifying for that trip. So make sure you give us a call, let us know what you're working on, how we can help you, and get you qualified for that trip. So that is the 2018 Top Producer Escape. All right, many of you may be familiar with our creative department. We do have a full back office creative department that can help you build your brand and build your image and promote your business out there. So you can see some of the different options available in our creative services department. Everything from the basic stationery and letterhead and envelopes to developing some print marketing and online marketing. Very knowledgeable, very well-experienced creative department back there. If you're interested in possibly utilizing one of those services or learning a bit more, please feel free to give us a call and ask for Jen or Josh in our creative department. They'd be glad to visit with you a bit further about what we can do for you as far as building your brand and getting your name and message out there and helping you grow your business. Sticking with the creative services department here, we do have some insurance email newsletters available through that creative department. So just another way to generate some new leads and some new business with website lead forms and some different tools out there. Internet is certainly here to stay, and more seniors are using the internet and email services, and this is a great way to kind of build up some more leads for you, get some more new business there. So that again is in our creative services department. Next thing I want to talk about here is our Life and Annuity Academy. As you can tell, we are big on training here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. We have a very full webinar calendar every month, webinars just about every day of the week throughout the month. In addition to our webinars, we also like to do in-person kind of off-site training meetings. And coming up here this May, and do have some additional dates scheduled out as this one is starting to fill up, is our next Life and Annuity Academy. So with this, I'm going to go ahead and launch our first poll of the day. Simply, would you be interested in receiving some more information about our Life and Annuity Academy? Clicking yes is certainly not going to lock you in and commit you to joining us, but that just lets us know that you'd be interested in learning a bit more. So following this webinar, if you do click yes, we'll get follow-up email out to you with a bit more information, a sample agenda, and our online application link to let us know that you're interested in attending. So this is a 2-day training meeting. This is different than some of the other events that you may have attended in the past with some other organizations. We're not going to bring you out and drill product for 2 days. Okay, we want to give you at least 1 or 2 ideas to take away that you can implement once you get back to the office after attending this meeting with us. We want to give you 1 or 2 ideas that you can implement right away to have an impact on your business and increase your level of business in the life and annuity market. So we go over a number of different sales ideas and training strategies from several of our top producers. We mentioned Matt Gill and Dave Pemper on the new producer bonus. They will be out there going through their seminar system and giving you an idea of what they do and how they've built their business with seminars. some different software programs, go over the Retirement Analyzer software program that we'll talk about in just a moment, different advanced concepts for life insurance and single premium life, things like that. We will also talk about business insurance concepts as well. So a number of different sales and marketing tools and concepts to utilize life insurance and annuities. And again, our overall goal is to give you, one or two things that you can take away from that meeting and implement the next day and start building your business a bit more with us. So that is our Life and Annuity Academy. Looks like a majority of you did take the time to respond to that. So thank you very much. Those of you that indicated yes, you will receive a follow-up email following this webinar here today with a bit more information about that academy. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close that down, and we will keep it moving along. Okay, paperless contracting. Several of you may be familiar with our paperless contracting, but those of you that aren't, this is a great way to get up and running with multiple companies without the hassle of filling out a ton of paperwork for each individual company. So we are on paperless contracting, efficient contracting. Majority of our carriers, including North American, do support paperless contracting. So easy way to get you up and running with them following this webinar, if that would be of interest. No additional paperwork that you need to fill out on your behalf. So, all right, our website, www.iamsinc.com. A lot of great resources and information available on our website. It is, of course, available 24/7. We have our term quoter out there, some different sales tools and forms engine out there. So if you call in and perhaps it's after hours, you need a quote, you do have the ability to run a term quote on our website. In fact, all of us in the life marketing department do use the term quoting engine on our website for those term quotes. So we are more than happy to run those quotes, any and all quotes for you, but that is available on our website if you would prefer to run your own term quotes. But we also have our forms engine out there, so you can go and generate applications from any of our companies available on that website. Some different links to industry resources, our current life and annuity news, and annuity and life product grid are all out there on our website. So a lot of great information just a click away. All right, the next item here is IAMS Wealth Management. So we have developed a registered investment advisory here, which is IAMS Wealth Management. Developed this for a couple of reasons. Everyone, I'm sure, is aware of the Department of Labor fiduciary rule that's looming out there. In response to that impending regulation, we did develop a registered investment advisory, IAMS Wealth Management, to help you continue to be able to do your life insurance and annuity business and add that fee-based money management business to your practice. It's another way to help set you apart from other agents out there in the field and make sure you're compliant to continue doing that ongoing insurance business as well. So Charles Hiring Jr. in our office is kind of the point person with that RIA out there. You can see the number 888-255-7670. If you like some more information about IAMS Wealth Management, what we can do for you, how we compare to other investment advisors out there in the industry, Charles is a great wealth of knowledge. Be more than happy to visit with you further, give you a bit more information about that wealth management. So that is available to you today. We did develop IAMS Wealth to be more of an advisor-friendly, give you the flexibility to continue on in your business, but not really hamper you down. So definitely a great opportunity there with IAMS Wealth. Next item I want to visit about is Retirement Analyzer. Mentioned this on the Academy slide. This is a really neat software program. It kind of gives you and your clients a holistic view at your client's retirement situation and kind of where they stand. So gathering a little bit of information, completing the fact finder for the Retirement Analyzer, popping that information into the software, it will actually illustrate for you, or for your clients rather, how long their retirement funds are projected to last them based on their standard of living. Doing so allows you to really illustrate the power of your recommendation and your product that can help improve their situation and make that money last a bit longer. So it is definitely a holistic type of software. It's not only for annuities, but also life insurance, long-term care needs. You can see the impact of long-term care expenses on a retirement scenario with your clients. So really great piece of software to illustrate your value and the value of the products that you bring to the table for your clients. All right, the last thing I want to mention here before I hand things over to Andy is actually a couple of programs here. You can see on the left-hand side, Referred Producer Program, and on the right-hand side is Marketing Reimbursement. Starting with the Referred Producer Program, just like you out there in the field, the highest compliment you can receive is a referral. It is going to be the most qualified lead that you ever receive. I don't care how much you pay for the leads and how qualified they are, a referral is going to be the best source of new business. The same holds true for us here at IAMS. So if you have any associates or individuals that you know of in the field that would benefit from working with us here at IAMS, pass them along to us. This is a great way to build up a little bit of extra income for you on the side here, but pass them along and we will reward you for that referral. So you'll get a $50 bonus once your referral contracts with us, with one of our companies here, and then you get a bonus once they submit business. So when that referral is writing consistent business, you are going to get paid an override there based on that business forever. As long as both of you are contracted and that referral is writing business, you will get that override. It's important to note that override's not coming out of your referrals commissions. That's coming out of our pocket to you to say thank you for that referral. So you can see in that example, great way to build up a little extra cash. You refer over 3 producers, and each of them are $1 million annuity or single premium life producers. That's another $6,000 in cash in your pocket just for referring them over. So keep that in mind. Pass your referrals along. We want to thank you for that, and we do appreciate that with our Referred Producer Program. Okay, on the right side, we have our Marketing Reimbursement Program. It's a great way to cut your marketing expenses in half potentially here. So how this works, as long as you are submitting business, writing life insurance, annuity business with us here at IAMS, we will set aside X amount into a marketing reimbursement account for you to help pay for any marketing expenses. So if you do a seminar or if you hold a client appreciation event at the end of the year, as long as you were writing business with us, you're going to have some marketing reimbursement dollars in that account. Submit us the receipts, and we will cut you a check to help pay for some of those marketing expenses. So great way to get your name out there, generate some new business, and we want to help you pay for that and reward you for your loyalty in writing business with us here at IAMS. So please keep that in mind. It's a great way to help pay for some of those marketing expenses. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap up my portion of the presentation today and hand things over to Andy with North American to take us through some business insurance concepts. All right, Andy, you should have the controls now.
Perfect. You see my screen?
We can.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for that, and that was fantastic. Obviously, IAMS is doing everything that they can to help you, become the best and most profitable producer that you can. So, hopefully, what we can do is we can give you some ideas today that will kind of add on to that and maybe generate some of that business that you can use for all those programs, and to help refer some of your colleagues over to IAMS. So my name is Andy. I'm the sales development specialist for IAMS. So I'm their internal marketer here at North American. So I'm actually here as an extension of their office that to work with you as well. So I maybe have worked with a few of you on the phone today, but if there's any questions or concerns on this, feel free to reach out to the team at IAMS. They're going to be your first line of defense. But if there's things that you specifically want to hear about, I'm here for you as well. So with that being said, we're going to jump into some business sales ideas, and what we really want to do is we want to look at how life insurance can help with some of those business situations. We talked about leads a little bit in the intro, and that's the lifeblood of everyone's business that's on the phone. And business owners can be a great resource if you have some of the right niches and right ins that you can get in with some of those business owners. And again, we talked about referrals as well. And those referrals, the business owners, sometimes kind of run in the same pack. So there's an opportunity there as well. If you do the right thing for one owner, you might be able to get some great referrals off of them as well. So we're going to try to look at things a little differently, to kind of think outside the box a little bit on some of these business sales ideas. We're going to start first though by giving our compliance a couple minutes in the spotlight here. So this is our disclosures page. These disclosures do apply to this presentation in its entirety. If you want a copy of the presentation, you can request it directly from me or from IAMS, and they'll be able to get that over to you. So we'll jump right into our agenda. So we look at our agenda. We're going to look at some common business sales. We're going to briefly just look at North American's products and how they can fit into some of those sales, and then we'll look at some tools and think about some kind of next steps that we can utilize once we're done with the presentation today. So we'll jump right into it. The business sales ideas that we're going to look at, buy sell. This is probably something you've heard a lot about. Key person, executive bonus, and key person and executive bonus. There's some parts of those that are kind of interchangeable, but we want to again, look at both of those kind of individually, and then business continuation. What can we do, with the business as far as getting that passed along to the next generation. So first, we'll jump into buy sell, and by definition, a buy sell is an agreement used by a business to sell the interest of an owner to the remaining owners at a predetermined price valuation formula upon a qualifying event. And really, this is something that the business owners should really set up. Either if you have a legal person that you refer clients to, or if they have their own attorneys, this is really something they should set up within their attorneys. Now, where you can come into play is you can help them with some of the funding and maybe giving them a little better way to fund it. The options are really to kind of save money up on the side, or have money in a savings account that they can use for these for the different buyouts, or we can fund it using life insurance. And that's what we're going to look at today. The real crux of the buy sell agreement is we want to make sure that the business passes in an efficient way, but also to the people that we want. So we want to make sure we have the desired ownership. We want to make sure that structure stays in place, and then we can use the life insurance to really offset those costs. And again, the goal here is to be more efficient. When we look at this, here's an example. We have Mike and Ike. They're brothers who own a candy store. So we got the Mike and Ike brothers here. They're looking for $150,000 of low-cost coverage. Now, there's a lot of different options. We have Mike's age 46, he's preferred non-tobacco. Ike's age 43, preferred non-tobacco. So we have a couple of young business owners that are looking for that $150,000 to fund their buy-sell agreement. And a lot of times when we think of a buy-sell agreement, the immediate kind of product that we jump to is going to be term insurance. And we're going to look at things a little differently today. We're going to look at some permanent plans and how we can utilize the permanent plans to help fund the buy-sell agreement. So here's an example. We have Mike, age 46, preferred non-tobacco. We have some extremely small numbers on the screen, but I'll kind of just narrate this for you. The $150,000 on Mike costs a little under $1,400 a year, so a little over $100 a month. Same thing on Ike, age 43, preferred non-tobacco, $150,000 for around $1,200. So as the business owners, we can get them coverage to age 120 for both of them for about $2,600 per year. So a little over $200 a month that they would spend. But I think what we want to do, when we're talking about advising, and especially you guys that are in the field, you do this on a daily basis, and the key is to actually solve the client's overall problem. And if the problem is just funded in case of death, that's one thing. We can certainly do that with a number of different types of life insurance. But if you could have seen the numbers on those previous slides, I know they were very small. What you would see is that for that $2,600 that they're putting in as a business every year, they're really getting the death benefit, and it's guaranteed age 120, which is fantastic. That's a great option, but there's not going to be a lot of cash value. So let's look at some of the what ifs. So what if they don't pass away before their planned retirement? So they would rather retire than pass the business along after death. What if their goal includes retirement planning instead of just the low cost? And then what if they're looking for an exit strategy? So all these things combined, really leads us to the, kind of down that path of, let's look at some cash value life insurance. Let's see if there's an option for them as business owners to not only get the death benefit they need, but also solve, some of the other potential problems that they would have. So here's that same scenario, Mike and Ike looking for $150,000 in coverage. Now they want a potential income option for retirement planning. And we're not going to look at the actual income today. We're just going to look at what can we get, for cash value. Let's look at the policy. So we're going to look at the Rapid Builder IUL. And the reason we're doing this is a lot of times for business owners, we think about, a typical index universal life. There's usually a lot of, surrender charges up front. There's premium loads, some of those things that come into play, which really, dilutes a little bit of the cash value early on. With our Rapid Builder product, we have no premium loads. There's an option that we can add called the Waiver of Surrender Charge option that waives all the surrender charges, so we can create an opportunity for, some liquidity within the contract. So we have the opportunity for cash value growth. We can provide that exit strategy at retirement. We can also provide some potential cash during the build-up years, and that's what we can do with that Waiver of Surrender Charge option. So let's take a look at this. Here's the same scenario. We have the male age 46. I believe that was Mike out of the Mike and Ike family company, and now we're looking at putting $7,500 away. So if we look at this, we're getting the $150,000 in death benefit, but it's also increasing. So as a business, obviously our goal is not to remain stagnant and have the same valuation year in and year out. Well, what does that mean? If we buy a life insurance policy for $150,000 today, that's also going to be $150,000 30 years from now. And we're going to have a gap. That business is, hopefully growing, and we're creating, more value within the business. We also want to have a life insurance policy that's growing right along with it. And the option is to either buy way too much death benefit up front, which could, create, kind of that upfront, front end loaded cost, or we can look at, an increase in death benefit. And that's what we did here. We looked at an increase in death benefit. If you look out to age 60, our 150 is more than doubled to about $315,000. We also have $165,000 in cash value available. So with that cash value, that gives them the flexibility to pull the lump sum out and walk away from this thing. It gives them an opportunity if something happens with the business and they decide to no longer be in business. They have the opportunity to recoup some of those premiums they paid in. As you can tell here that we're paying quite a bit more, but at age 60, we've paid $112,500 in, and we have $165,000 in cash value. Even on the fixed account, so our middle column rate, 3.75%, we've got over $130,000. So again, an opportunity to walk away with that cash value. So that's really the other option. Now, what I will say, and I can kind of highlight this for all of the different scenarios that we're going through, is sometimes that early years of a business, there's just not the extra cash there. My wife owns her own small business. There's startup costs, and you're trying to get your clientele, so you're putting a lot of money into advertising, promoting your product. Maybe there's not a ton of leftover money to buy a life insurance policy for $7,500 a year. That's the great thing about our portfolio, and we'll talk a little bit about this later, is that we have some flexibility. You can get them the coverage they need on our term insurance plan, and we can then convert that into one of these IUL programs without any additional underwriting. So the key is to get that death benefit up front. We can convert it, and we can create that retirement scenario and that exit strategy later on. So now that's our buy-sell agreement. Now let's look at key person. So key person, there's really, kind of what it sounds like. It's coverage purchased on a key employee. It's meant to replace the financial loss that the business would incur upon the employee's death. You can have this on, multiple employees. You don't have to have the same amount of coverage on each. It's just a matter of the value that they bring to the business. So this is something that we can look at, and really the two most cost-effective ways to do this would be with the term and the custom guarantee. we're also going to look at the Rapid Builder and the Builder IUL as options for this as well. So you might ask, why would we want cash value in a key person sale? It's a very valid question, and there could be scenarios where we just say, let's just get the death benefit we need, at the lowest cost that we can. But what if we, that employee leaves the company, and now you want to, recoup some of those premiums you paid in? That could certainly be a consideration. We also want to look at a source of liquid funds. We would have, the access to some of those, that cash value within the policy, for the business. That's another thing to look at. We can also combine this with an executive bonus concept. So this not only could be a way to recuperate, the potential loss if the employee passes away, but it could also be a way to keep that employee, with you versus going to the competition. So we can maybe make this a little bit of a combination that you can utilize, both concepts, within one. So that's kind of a brief overview on the key person. Executive bonus, again, this is that scenario, we talked about, and this could be a combination of a key person as well. So our goal here is to reward and retain a valued executive. The key is to make sure that we can, give them a benefit that's going to keep them, again, working with us instead of another potential company. This provides, death benefit protection through cash value life insurance. So we're going to look at the Builder IUL. The key here is the executive bonus cover is owned by the executive. Premiums are paid by the company. They could be deductible to the company as a salary expense and included as income by the executive. So the executive is going to be responsible for paying the income tax on the bonus amount. So a lot of times what businesses will do is they will make it a net benefit. So if we want to pay in X number of dollars in premium, we're going to bonus the executive more than that, take into account the taxes, and make sure that they have a net of enough money to pay the premium. The Builder IUL is really going to be a strong option for this, especially if we're looking at distributions down the road. Obviously we're providing some value today, during the working years with the death benefit, but we also want to make sure that there's that kind of that retirement supplement type sale or that portion of the policy later on down the road. So here's an example of this. We have our key employee. His name is Bob Dewright. Company's annual contribution to age 65 $20,000. When we look at this, the contribution is customizable to each executive and can be discriminatory and confidential. So what that means is that we don't have to pick an executive and pay all the executives the exact same amount. If there's somebody that we value more, that we feel is more of an asset to the company, we can give them more. We don't have to. This isn't an ERISA thing, so we don't have to, disclose what we're paying each person and how much everyone's getting. So this is something that we can really customize to each executive and make it fit. You don't have to offer it to everyone either. So this is another scenario where we can kind of pick and choose who we want and who we feel is the most valuable to the company. So Bob's going to have access to the retirement income stream. He's currently 48 years old and in good health. So let's take a look at this scenario. So here's our $20,000 going in, and again, they maybe bonused him 30, and he pays the taxes on the bonus, and he comes out with the $20,000. We're getting Bob $370,000 in death benefit. We did the increasing death benefit option. We're going to switch it to level when he starts taking the distributions. And in this scenario, on top of that death benefit, he's also getting a little over $55,000 of income. So, it's a tremendous amount of income. It's a great, opportunity. Definitely something that will keep that employee. It's another benefit that they can have that it's going to be hard to, really, bring with them. The key is that, for them to keep funding this, it's going to be really expensive, on their own. For another company to take over this would be, kind of impossible. So for somebody else to offer the same benefit to him, especially 5 years, 6 years, 7 years down the road, is going to be very tough. So this is definitely going to be something that's kind of going to, keep an anchor on that great executive and make sure that they stay with the company. You see this a lot, in even like the coaching, areas where a school will offer a coach something similar to this, where they can have a little additional retirement outside of what they're already getting, in their pension or, their other retirement plans. So again, this is just a great, opportunity, again, to keep that executive, with your company, keep them from going to the competition. So finally, we're going to look a little bit at business continuation. This is coverage taken out on the life of key persons whose death would drastically impede the continued financial well-being of the business. This can be similar to a buy-sell. This is typically, we see this a lot in, family-owned type businesses where maybe the parents are kind of doing everything and the goal is to eventually leave it to the kids, or a family farm or something along those kind of along those lines. So we look at this. This is an example, common example of a business continuation. We have Daryl and Cheryl. They own a family restaurant. They have children named Merrill and Carol who also work there. They're in line to take over the business. Parents still handle all the management duties. So they are, extremely, into the day-to-day workings of the business. The thing is, what would happen if they passed away? There's a lot of implications. As a family-owned business, a lot of times the owners are kind of the face of the business. They're who the clientele see, and we want to make sure that we can continue to bring in the same clientele. A lot of times, family-owned businesses, they're also doing the financials. If the kids aren't comfortable with that, there might be a situation where we need to hire something like that out. So the potential challenges is retaining the real value in the business. That's a big challenge, and that's what we talked about, them being the face of the business. Cash flow needs. The children will certainly need money for the business transfer and legal fees, but what about marketing and advertising to keep their name out there? Again, if the parents aren't there, a lot of times that can discourage customers from coming in. Maybe hiring money management. They maybe weren't involved in that day-to-day aspect of the business, and aren't comfortable doing what mom and dad were used to doing. They might need to hire somebody to come in. So again, that's another way to look at this policy. And then what if one of the child wants out of the business? So we see this a lot, and this is a big thing, especially with the family farming situation. But it also in a situation like this, mom and dad pass away. The business is what's left to the kids. One child doesn't want to be a part of it. Well, does the other child have to just pay that their sibling a salary for not doing anything to kind of make up for the difference in the value they're getting? One of them is working, one of them is not. They're both drawing money from the business. That could be a detrimental thing, because they're going to have to hire somebody to replace what that other sibling was doing within the company, while still having to pay the sibling. So that could be tough. Same thing as we see a lot in the family farm. And I come from a farming family. My parents both decided not to farm. So there was some, my aunts and uncles that do. That's a difficult situation, because, they're getting, all of this, farmland. And that's a lot of times for farmers, that's the bulk of their estate, is the value of the land that they're farming. So we come into the situation where, that could be, great while mom and dad are alive. The one child's farming, they're drawing an income from the work they're doing in the farm. What happens when they pass away? All the land gets dispersed throughout the siblings. Now the one child has to then go rent land from everyone. That can be, again, detrimental. Maybe he doesn't even want to do that. So there's, some big expenses. These policies like this can be great for that, because they can, the farmland can be what the one child gets. The other child might get the life insurance death benefit to kind of offset that estate. So it kind of balances that estate out. So that's another, good option. So we're looking at this. This is their situation with the restaurant owners. We have $1 million death benefit. Our survivorship plan is a cash value building plan. So what you'll see is that we have a little under $7,000 in premium going in, and we can maintain that $1 million of coverage. There's cash surrender value, which is great. That gives them an exit strategy. So if the coverage is ever not needed, if the business, parents retire and the business gets, transferred, prior to their death, there's a cash value in here. And again, we see, we've got, more money in surrender value than we do in premiums going in. So it gives them that opportunity to recoup some of those premiums that they've already paid into the policy. So what does that $1 million death benefit provide? It provides that real value. So again, we're just solving problems here. it provides an option for that potential cash flow for legal and marketing needs. So if they need to transfer that business, there's legal things they would need to do for that, and then marketing to make sure that we keep the name out into the public and make sure that the business doesn't die along with mom and dad. And then the potential to hire a money manager. That's a big one. Behind the scenes, we want to make sure that we're not, quote unquote, running the business into the ground. That we're doing the right things, making the right moves, making sure that we have, the proper, depreciation on equipment and things like that. They might need a money manager to do that. And then the estate equalization. Should one child want out of the business? I think that's, maybe one of the biggest things that we can do with a survivorship plan is make sure that the estate, is kind of fairly dispersed. If one child wants the lump sum of the death benefit up front, the other child wants to take over the business and have that, quote unquote, the value of the business, but also the burden of doing business. That's another thing to look at. And that survivorship plan really does a great job of doing that estate equalization. So finally, or next, we're going to talk a little bit about North American's products. We're not going to go into great detail. Just want to highlight some of the features that really make our products competitive for these types of situations. So this little chart here shows us the portfolio that we have. We have our term insurance, custom guarantee, rapid builder, and survivorship. This kind of just breaks down the different areas that we see as being, competitive areas for each product. So the advantage term, really buy, sell, key person, business continuation. You can work all three of those scenarios out with that type of a plan. It's term insurance. It's a little more of a commodity product, based on price. But some things on our term insurance that you want to take note of, and I kind of mentioned this earlier, we have a really strong and flexible portfolio. So our term insurance, we have great conversion privileges. You can also convert to any of the single life products in our portfolio. So you don't have to go directly from the term into just one product for conversion. You can convert directly into the builder IUL. You can convert into the rapid builder. You can go into the custom guarantee and then exchange that into the builder. So there's some really, kind of competitive nature or features of that product that make it really, really good for the business community. And again, like I said, a lot of times that young business owner, they really need the life insurance, and they maybe need a lot of life insurance because you have a lot of expenses that you take on right away. And the problem is, if we're going to go in there only selling permanent, you could lose sales that way as well. Look at it this way: if you get that, 25, 30, 35, 40-year-old business owner to buy the correct amount of coverage today, it's going to give you lots of opportunities in the future. A conversion is a great opportunity for you as an advisor because you don't have to worry about the underwriting that you would have to if you're trying to get a 50-year-old to buy a permanent plan, later on down the road. So just something to think about there. A custom guarantee, again, great for the buy, sell, key person. Not a lot of cash value, but again, it's going to be a cost-effective way to look at those policies. Our rapid builder, really good for the business sales situation. A lot of times they want to see that early cash value, and we can accomplish that with the rapid builder and that waiver of surrender charge option. Builder IUL, the executive bonus plan, that is, by far our best product for distributions. We really would, like to look at that as a great option for somebody that's looking to take a distribution. Then there's survivorship. It's a great option for that business continuation because we not only have the death benefit, but we also have the cash value. So if, again, the big key that we're trying to promote here is not just looking at the death benefit, but also looking at potential cash value. Give the clients an opportunity for an exit strategy. Even if mom and dad passed the business along early, they would have the opportunity then to take distributions from that policy later on down the road if they want to for a little supplemental retirement income as well. So we can really kind of hit on a number of different concepts all within one sale. So we'll just jump right in here. Custom guaranteed, guaranteed death benefit to age 120. Look at age and nearest birthday, 0 to 85. The accelerated benefit endorsement, and this is something that again is another reason to sell some of these products. We have a chronic and terminal illness benefit that's included on our policies with no additional underwriting and no additional cost to the client up front. We do a discount on the back end, so if they ever should need to use the chronic or critical, we'll discount those benefits on the backside. No premium payments beyond age 100. We have the guaranteed exchange provision, which allows you to exchange the custom guarantee into any of our non-guaranteed single life IUL products, so our Rapid Builder and our Builder IUL, with no additional underwriting, you as the advisor get paid an additional commission on that, on the increase in target. So good opportunity there. Also 2-year rolling target. So if you're funding this, if it doesn't take the full target premium to guarantee the death benefit, we'll take premiums from year 1. We'll pay you, your full upfront commission, and then up to the target, we'll pay you again your top commission in the 2nd year. So we make sure that you're getting paid on the full target premium. Another really good feature and great for the business sales. Rapid Builder, again, coverage up to age 120, depending on how we fund it. Issue to age 80, minimum face of 100,000. The big, rider and option that we have here is the waiver of surrender charge option. It's got a table shaving component. So if we have any health concerns with clients, it does open the door a little bit for some additional ailments to get in. So we'll shave from table 3 up to standard on that product. And then no premium mode. That's the big thing for that early cash value that a lot of business owners want to see. We do have an interest rate bonus of 75 basis points starting in year 16 on that contract. So again, it just gives that enhanced, that long-term benefit for the client. Once they get into those later years where they're maybe taking distributions, that 75 basis point bonus can be a big hit. Overloan protection benefit, really important for some of these cases. That's a pretty standard benefit within the industry. It doesn't allow the contract to lapse based on taking too many loans or too much loans out of the policy. So that's kind of a standard feature. Protected death benefit's a little different. Protected death benefit is a feature where if you're taking distributions from a policy, you can actually set aside a chunk of the death benefit. So if we have $500,000, we can say, I want to save $200,000, guarantee that death benefit out for my beneficiaries. Then we'll take loans based on the remaining $300,000 that's left over and the remaining cash value. That's a unique feature to us, and it's not something you have to select at the time of issue. You can do it, at the time when you start taking loans. And then we also have the accelerated benefit endorsement on this for the critical, chronic, and terminal illness. Builder IUL, death benefit protection with long-term cash value potential. Rapid Builder's more early cash value. Builder's more long-term cash value. That's where we get those great distributions from the policy. Again, coverage up to age 120, issued to age 75, interest rate bonus of 75 basis points. Again, these are contractually guaranteed on the indexed account. This one starts in year 11 and goes on forever. So we're not giving you, kind of a what if scenario. Like if the index does this, we'll credit you this for a bonus. This is a 75 basis points. It goes through the cap. So if you cap out at 12.5 on the annual point to point, we're going to credit you 13.25. If you get a 0% return or the index is negative, we're going to credit you 75 basis points. So again, great feature. It's a guaranteed feature of our contract. This also has the overloan protection, protected death benefit, and the accelerated benefit endorsement. So again, similar features, just some different unique things that make it each product competitive for different scenarios. The survivorship, we have a $200,000 minimum face amount. Again, interest rate bonus here, 50 basis points, years 11 through 20, 75 basis points starting year 21. Again, guaranteed on the index account. This policy also features the waiver of surrender charge option, so we can see some of those early cash values. All right, so tools and considerations. I like to look at our business concept kits, and you might have seen this when we were just starting out, but if you look at the page now, this is our business solutions landing page. So there's a great video here. This is buy, sell using life insurance, but we have all these marketing materials, case studies, checklists. You can really go through all of the different concepts that we talked about today. If you go to the drop-down menu, there's buy, sell, executive bonus, key person. It's all right here. This is a great spot to jump out to. There is no, it's not password protected, so you don't need to, sign into that website. You can get out there just on the link. I would say that link on your desktop. Lots of information. There is, pre-recorded webinars. There's lots of different things that you can view out there. So something to definitely look at after we jump off the call today. The website training center, this is on that same, marketing page, so you can get out and look at the videos on all the different concepts, including the business concepts. So that's another spot to look. And then advanced underwriting consultants. If you're not familiar with who this is, because you are partnered with IAMS, you have the availability of Linus Sugis. He's an attorney that we have on retainer that you can actually utilize, and it's really important, I think, to bring him in or bring somebody in, an expert in business law to talk about these types of cases, because we can do all we want on setting up the beneficiaries correctly and everything, but if it's not done correct on the front end, you can really see some negative effects later on. So definitely look at bringing him in if you want. This is his contact information. You can email him. When you call, just make sure you give him your North American agent code, and they'll set you up with some help. He's great at not only looking at the legal side of it, but he also looks at it through the lens that you need to make a sale on this. So he's going to help you kind of get to that end goal of making the sale, but also doing the right thing for the client. So in summary, we looked at some common business sales. These are pretty common business sales, but what we wanted to do is look at them in a little different light. So how can we not only just sell a term insurance for a buy-sell, but maybe we can combine the buy-sell agreement with an exit strategy for the client and also a potential retirement supplement sale that you can make. How do North American's products fit? Again, our portfolio is not designed to have one specific product that we do 95% of our business with. It's designed to be, a broad portfolio that you can really, look at, from start to finish for a client. So again, you have a young business owner, they buy the term insurance policy, they convert that into the custom guarantee, so they have a guaranteed death benefit. They exchange that into an IUL. You've now had 3 sales opportunities. The client's gone through underwriting once. It's a really a nice way to help build your business and build future value in your business by having those clients on the books. And then tools and considerations. I really think utilizing advanced underwriting consultants is important, especially early on in the process. You just have questions on taxation, so you can come and do a presentation with a little bit of knowledge on a topic maybe you're not comfortable with. Linus is a great resource for that. Also, our marketing landing page. Obviously, we saw the considerable tools and resources that IAMS already has for you. The Retirement Analyzer, great software program, all of the additional benefits, helping you find clients, helping you pay for marketing expenses, helping you with webinars. That's all IAMS. They do a great job of that, and I would really lean on them heavily, for those things. As far as North American goes, we have the marketing materials that will help you sell our products and help you get the right material in front of your client. So the bottom line, for your clients, they're getting solutions for their business planning needs. And I think, a lot of times it's just a matter of being efficient. And, there's a lot of different ways that you can fund a buy-sell. There's a lot of different ways you can plan for, eventual retirement or business continuation. But life insurance can be a really cost-effective way to do it. And that's really what we're looking for here, is help your clients be as efficient as they can, and helping them, make sure that they have as many free dollars as they need to run their business. This is kind of that, what if kind of planning. But they also have to run their business today. Let's make sure we help them do that in an efficient way. And then customizable alternatives, that's the big thing with the flexibility within the product portfolio. For you get the sales kits, obviously, the dedicated staff, advanced underwriting consultants. You have myself internally here. You have the great team at IAMS. You've got a lot of resources, and I think if you utilize those, we can really help build that business clientele. And as we said at the beginning of the call, once you get into that marketplace, it's a great place to be, because it's typically a little larger premiums. It's typically people that are making a little higher income, and it gives you just a great sales alternative and a great option. So with that, I will wrap this up. That is what we have. If anybody has any questions, feel free to type them in, and we can run through that.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Andy. That was great. I'm actually going to go ahead and take things back here, because I do have one final poll. All right. So with that, last poll of the day here, folks, if you wouldn't mind taking a quick moment to respond here, just simply, would you like contracting information or more information for North American? So send that out there. Do have a few minutes left in our time here today. If there are any questions, please send those over. We did have a couple here, Andy. So while that poll's up, we'll leave this poll up here for a couple of moments here while we take a couple of these questions. But looks like the first one, I know we're going to get in some gray area, not going to get definitive answers about taxes, but as far as the executive bonus is concerned, could you just maybe recap kind of the general tax situation there? You had mentioned some deductions for the business, I believe. So
right, yeah. So typically, how we see those run, and they can do it in different ways, but typically it's the business paying the executive the money through payroll. So that's their, payroll deduction that they would have. And again, like you said, it's, we don't want to, get into the tax side of it, but that would be a payment like right through their normal paycheck. But they usually net that out. So, and they do the same thing, let's say with our company, if we get some, benefits for, health memberships and things like that, they pay you, more than what, the actual benefit is, so that you net out the amount needed to pay the premium. So in these situations, instead of the business paying the premium directly to the company, they're paying the employee. The employee is then turning around and paying the life insurance carrier, paying the premium, and it gives them that additional benefit. So that's typically how we see it run. There's obviously other ways to do it. What I would say is, if you had specific situations or specific questions, if you have a client that's coming up, certainly reach out to Linus at Advanced Underwriting Consultants, because he'll be able to give you more specific details on why you should set it up certain ways, why you would pay the executive through payroll versus, having the business directly pay the life insurance premium. So hopefully that sort of answered the question.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Andy. The next one here, going back to the Rapid Builder and the table shaving component for that, is that only available with the waiver surrender charge option, or is that specific to that product?
It's specific to that product, and it is only available if you add the waiver of surrender charge option.
Okay.
So, and one thing to think about, and this is, a big consideration, is when you write those policies, you can't wait till the underwriting decision's already been made to add that rider. So you can't, go through the whole underwriting process, have a table 2 come back and say, well, I'm going to add the rider, and it shaves to standard. You have to add that at the time of application. It's a box you have to check on the application, and it has to be done, when you turn it in, not, after the fact. So just something to think about there. But yeah, it is an additional feature. It shaves from table 3 to standard. And we see it a lot where we see a lot of policies come in that, standard to table 3 range, and those will all get shaved up to standard, as long as there's no medical flat extras. That would be the one consideration there.
Okay, great. All right, well, we are coming up on our time here. That was the last question that I had here, Andy, so I think I'm going to go ahead and close out this poll. Thank you, those of you that did respond to that last poll question. We will get some information out to you that, to those of you that indicated yes here, we will get some contracting information out for North American, so you can take advantage of these products. Again, a very competitive portfolio with North American, pretty well rounded from term to the no lapse guarantee side to some accumulation with the IUL. So definitely a great company to work with, and very competitive portfolio. So, all right, we're going to close that out. And with that, thank you again, Andy, for your time and going through those different business concepts. And thank you to those of you that logged in here and took a bit of time out of your Monday morning with us. So we will be following up. Appreciate everyone's time and look forward to speaking with you soon. So.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time as well.
Yep. All right. Have a great week, everyone.